The alien is in the building. Why would this guy want to take on somebody who scored 13 KOs in his last 14? One of them went to a technical decision when the fight was too injured to carry on. Why? Why? Explain to me why he'd want to do that. I don't understand why Hopkins would take this fight on. There's no need to take this fight on. No one was pressuring him to take this fight. Yeah, you hear me talking about Kovalev hasn't really stepped up and faced top draw competition, but he got cleverly out of there in 4. He got Campillo out of there in 3. He struggled against Agnew, but still got him out of there. He does have scary power. We spoke to Darnell Boone, who is one of only 2 men who've took Kovalev the distance. Actually floored Kovalev. And Boone will verify how good he is, like he did on me and 78's video that we did with Darnell.
Yeah, I want to ask you too, you know, you're in a very unique position as all the hoopla and hype is going on right now about the light heavyweight division and super middleweight division. If I'm not mistaken, you gave Kovalev, Adonis Stevenson, and Andre Ward hell. So, what's your take on those 3 fighters, and who would you say is the best out of that bunch?
Out of them 3, I think Kovalev is.
Okay.
Yeah, he the more sound boxer. I mean, Ward is good at what he does, but Kovalev is the more sound boxer. He know how to use his range and his height real good, and he punched real hard.
Wow. Okay.
So you're saying he punches harder than Stevenson?
Oh yeah. But it's not just that he punched harder than Stevenson. He more precise with his punches, and he punching in combos.
So you heard that. Not only did he say Kovalev is better than Stevenson, he said he's better than Ward, man. Ward, you know what I mean, is widely recognized as the 2nd best fighter on the planet. This is the task that Hopkins is taking on, man. And, you know, don't just overlook what Boone is saying. Boone nearly knocked out Andre Ward, nearly knocked out Kovalev, and he did knock out Stevenson. You can't overlook that. If anyone you're going to listen to, that's one person you cannot overlook's opinion. You just can't. There's no way you can overlook his opinion. That's exactly why 78 seeked him out. Because there is no better person to gauge the current best light heavyweights right now. There's no one better. There's no one better to gauge it. I don't see why a 50-year-old would take this fight on. Obviously, he lives for danger. This is going to help elevate his performance. It will be no use for Bernard just continuing to take on the challenges like Cloud. You know, he took on Cloud because, okay, I don't think he could have beat Dawson pre-Edison Miranda sparring. I don't think he could have. Dawson won that fight convincingly, in my opinion. But even then, Bernard put on a spirited performance. He did. He did put on a spirited performance. He fought Hall of Famer, whether you like it or not, Joe Calzaghe. There is stirring evidence to say that Bernard actually won the fight. Very close fight. Undefeated Kelly Pavlik had a whole load of KOs. Was just coming off destroying Jermaine Taylor in 2 fights, knocking Taylor out in 1 and outpointing him. And looking very impressive. And Bernard schooled the dude. Pascal, who is still in the mix. Bernard needed 2 attempts to get past him. In my opinion, he won both fights. People underestimate the Tava victory as well. That was extremely impressive. Like, his energy levels shocked me. I was like, in total shock. Where will this rank if he's victorious in terms of his ATG status? I don't normally put Bernard's age into the mix when weighing up what he's doing, because I don't think you can hold a world title belt and claim you need to learn on the job because you're too young, or we should rank your performance because you're old and holding the belt. No. But on this occasion, I have to take his age into consideration a little, man. I'm just going to do that, you know. I'm going to break my own law, which I'm allowed to do. This will be nothing short of sensational. Like I said, Kovalev hasn't fought top draw opposition, but for a 50-year-old to fight somebody with a frightening reputation of punching and a frightening KO streak, in my opinion, it puts a lot of pressure on a lot of fighters looking to take it easy. I'm not going to call them out. But if Bernard can get up for taking on this task here, there's no reason why every fighter in every division who holds a belt shouldn't be attempting to negotiate at least one unification bout every year. At least. To be honest, there's no reason why, okay, if you're just going to fight twice a year, that you don't fight 2 unification bouts. As far as I'm concerned. As far as I'm concerned. Fight 2 unification bouts for the year. You win both of those, then, you know, you're on your route to superstardom. It just makes sense to me. I don't see why it doesn't make sense to a lot of boxers. If a 50-year-old is doing that, then, I mean, if you're 25, 30, 20, you've got no excuse not to. None at all. You have none. You have none. And we need to get out of this Al Heyman, this belt, this network argument. We need to get out of that and hold the fighters solely responsible. For anything that's not happening in the ring, you hold the fighter solely responsible. You know? You have to recognize the dynamics of boxing. Yeah? If a football club isn't meeting certain obligations to the fans, I don't know what that might be. They're not buying the right players. They're not playing in an entertaining way. You hold the football club responsible. You don't hold the players. You hold the football club responsible. Because they're not the franchise. The boardroom can change the personnel on the playing field just like that. Boxing, no. You are the franchise. Anything that happens in the ring, it's down to you. It's down to you. You know? I don't want to hear boxers doing the old Barry McGuigan thing. Well, you got to ask Mr. Eastwood. No, fuck all that shit. You're going in there. This is 2014. You can make one of them conference calls to a rival. You hold this belt, he holds that belt. You can make a conference call, and you can build the fight up right on social network. You have all the tools at hand to build the fight up. No excuse. I'm sorry. I don't know. You guys have been hearing me talk for a long time. I don't really recognize the Cold War. I'm gonna be honest with you. You've heard me say it. I don't really recognize. I don't like talking about it. I don't really recognize it. I don't recognize it. You know, it's up to the fighter. It's the fighter's responsibility. It's 2014. Ain't nobody signing no slave contracts. I want to see these boxers' contracts that they're so steadfast that these fights can't happen. We need to see your contract. What kind of contract is this? That you can't fight who you want to fight or who you need to be fighting. That's bullshit. And you don't need to believe it. And the Cold War thing is just an illusion. Yeah? And if there is a Cold War, they've all conspired. When I say all, promotional companies, networks, alphabet, bullshit, they've all conspired to do it. If there is. It's not real. None of them is worse than the other, and none of them is better than the other. And you need to get out of that. That's why I stop people when they say, well, man, he did this and Floyd. Stop. You see, the people in the networks and the belt organizations and promoters, they don't mind if we have suspicions that they might be crooked. They don't really give a fuck. Why? Because they're not going in the ring. They know it's the boxers that you admire and that you hold in reverence. Yeah? That's why we get so upset when certain fighters are caught taking PEDs. Because we hold the boxers to a high standard. No one trusts no businessman. So they don't mind if you look at them crooked because they know you're still going to come there for your subscription, for your pay-per-views. They're going to buy your ticket at the venue. They know you're going to come there. They know that you suspect that they're criminal. They're businessmen. They know you're not stupid. So they don't mind taking a hit on that. And that you're not going to blame the fighters for why shit ain't happening. But it is the fighters' fault. It is. You know, you need to get out of that old school movie film scenario where the boxer doesn't have no say in what's happening to him. You need to get out of that. That's not true. And at least in 2014 for world-class fighters, it's not true anymore. It just ain't true. This ain't no Black Murderers Row or Jean Jeanette and Sam McVeigh and Langford having to fight in the coloured championship. No, it's not that. No, it's not that. It's not Jake LaMotta having to throw fights because of the mob. And Bernard Hopkins is taking responsibility and making the fight happen. Doesn't have to fight this guy. He could call out Pascal. He's already beat him twice already in my eyes. It would still be credible. He's 50 years old. Fighting Jean Pascal, who's come off a decent win against Butte. You know? He could do a Danny Garcia, but he hasn't done that. And look for a Rob Salker. Get a super middleweight to come up. You know? Right now, dude is looking like a stud. Just for his decision here to fight somebody who may not have proved himself by fighting the elite of boxing. Kovalev hasn't fought the elite, but nevertheless, we all got two eyes, and we can see this guy can crack hard. He's one of the hardest light heavyweight punchers we've seen in recent years. There's no doubt about that. You see, it's a gamble. It's a gamble. Hopkins realizes his time is closing in. No matter how good he looks physically, how well he fights against the Shumanovs of this world, how many belts he takes at this age, it can't last forever. He's a 50-year-old dude. There has to be some breaking. There has to be some limit. But he's in real time. He knows this. He knows exactly what I'm saying. So he's getting it in now. He's getting it in now. He wants to make sure that in 20 years' time, because in my opinion, you know, we're in real time. We can't really see what's ATG. We can't really see how the history books are going to look because we're rolling in real time. We're still writing the story. Yeah? Those who can really appreciate it are the ones who just sit back and read the story. Me and you, we're still writing it. We're still authorizing the play right now. But he's making sure that when his chapters are written up and you start talking about Sugar Ray Robinson, you start talking about Bob Foster, you start talking about Harry Greb and Tiger Flowers, Mickey Walker, Hagler, Archie Moore, you start talking about all the great middleweights come light heavyweights. He wants to make sure that, yo, you better not read all that shit and not read mine. That's what he's doing right now. And if he gets past Kovalev and Stevenson at 50 years of age, like I said, I don't like to keep throwing his age in there. I think it's a bit unfair on all the other fighters, you know, by doing that. But on this video, I'm going to make that exception. If he does that at 50 years of age, gets past Stevenson and Kovalev. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't think he can do it. But if he does it, whew, I don't know if we're going to call him the greatest ever. I don't know. I will say this. If he does it, it will be up there in the top 10 most impressive things that a boxer has ever done. Ever. In the history of the sport. I'll put my neck out and say that. I don't care if you disagree. This is what Beats is saying. It's up there that high. So, I suppose I made this video just to salute Hopkins. I want to salute him. He's had some less than stellar moments in his career. I'm not going to go through what they are, but they're there. He's the first guy to knock out Trinidad. Knocked him off. Joe Lipsy, a thunderous puncher, undefeated KO puncher. The Pavlik performance. Pascal performance was really good. Both of them. The Shumanov performance was outstanding, considering Shumanov was defending a belt. And just the way he outclassed the guy. It was totally outstanding. And there's more. And there's more. And there's a lot more. This is just Bernard Hopkins appreciation. Win, lose, or draw. Big you up, bro.
In my assessment last night, Kovalev is going to lose to Bernard Hopkins.
Oh yeah, I always thought so though, but I'm not betting against Bernard Hopkins.
Kovalev ain't beating. Hopkins ain't beating no Kovalev.
All right, man. All right,
How's he
man.
gonna beat him? He ain't got no power to hold him off.
Okay.
Okay. I mean, he dropped Shumanov. He has enough power.
Man,
He has enough power, and this little light-handed dude dropped him, even though there was a so-called step on a foot situation.
yeah, it wasn't a real serious knockdown. That was a
Nah, that was no real serious knockdown, but he was square. He was
he
off
was
balance,
square. It was square. He squared up his feet.
off balance, and he doesn't like it to the body. You know what I mean? Obviously.
That's a great fight right there, though, man. Hopkins and Kovalev.
Happy birthday to me. That's it.
Oh, that fight's on your birthday?
Yep. I'm probably gonna have to tape it because I'm probably gonna be doing something on my birthday, but I'm gonna be watching it.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, Stevenson's he's frozen out the picture now, really, isn't he?
No, not really, because Stevenson is still gonna stay active.
Well, he's not going to fight Pascal, is he?
No, he's gonna fight. He's gonna fight somebody else in September. Then I just saw this on Twitter yesterday, and then he's gonna fight for the regular WBA champion against some other dude. I think it's some French guy. I don't even know who that guy is, but you know that's the WBA doing their thing again with their regular championships and their super championships and that bullshit. But yeah, he's gonna be fighting for that, and then Bernard Hopkins he should get at the top of the year sometime.
So how you got that fight, Hopkins and Kovalev, both of you?
I got Kovalev. Let me tell you, man, Bernard Hopkins is very strategic with his shit, man. He's very calculated. He doesn't run head first into anything unless he sees something. You know what I mean? He's like Sugar Ray Leonard in that way.
And he won the psychological warfare with that damn interview. He took over Kovalev interview.
Yep. Yeah, he already won the first round as far as that goes. You know what I mean? And he sees something in Kovalev that he can exploit. That's the only way he's running headfirst that direction. You know what I'm saying? He could. What's the name? Stevenson was right there, and he's negotiated with Stevenson, knowing that Stevenson ain't gonna take that. He wants 75% of the purse.
Yeah.
You know, and like all or nothing type of shit. You know what I'm saying? He know that Stevenson is not gonna take that offer. That's not what he came to Showtime for.
Well, why would he offer him that? He didn't really want the fight then.
Yeah, he came to make some dough, not that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Come back again. You know what I'm saying? When you're ready. So he's running head first into Kovalev because he sees that as an easier fight, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And after this fight, all them people who said that Stevenson was scared of Kovalev, just be honest and say you just don't like Stevenson. After you've seen this fight right here, and you still think that Kovalev is a boogeyman and Stevenson is just running scared from this guy, you just be honest with yourself and say, I don't like Stevenson. That's why I'm saying this dumbass shit.
Well, you don't think Stevenson was running from him?
Hell nah, man.
I actually think Bernard Hopkins is taking the easier fight because I think he had trouble with Stevenson because Stevenson is more athletic, and Bernard usually had trouble with athletic fighters.
Man, Stevenson's just got the one hand though, man. He's a great fighter, but he's just got the one hand.
Well, he showed the ability to adjust against what's the guy? Andres
Fonfara, yeah, he did. He showed a lot of adaptability, man.
Against Fonfara, so he showed me that if that left hand ain't working, he can move to something else.
Yeah, yep. I give him credit for that fight because the guy absorbed all his best shots. He hurt the guy, couldn't get him out of there, and normally that can break someone's will. But he stuck to what he had to do, showed adaptability. He got the W, man. I was impressed. Impressed with that, man.
He switched it to a primarily body attack, man, and that's what won it for him.
Yeah, and no one's ever really seen him do that.
Nope, and he was smothering Fonfara's offense as well.
Yep.
Because Fonfara needed that distance to land his shit, and he wasn't giving it to him.
Yep. Light heavyweight division is looking up, man. What's Pascal doing though, man? He hasn't done nothing since that Bhutan fight.
Pascal is a promoter, man. He fights every now and then.
Yeah. He's a celebrity, celebrity.
He's a celebrity. He in Montreal chilling.
No doubt. He's
He's the new Pascal, man.
It's a shame that he won't fight Stevenson. Well,
Butte, the new Butte. Sorry.
well, Butte's out of the picture, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's done. But he used to be the king out there. But Pascal done took his spot.
Yeah, Pascal gave him a nice little
Yep.
working over. Although I thought Butte was closing the gap.
Yep. Because Pascal thought he had to fight one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't like when fighters do that. You know what I'm saying? Think you had to fight one and try to fall back and shit. You end up getting your ass knocked out.
Okay, fellas.
Yeah.
Much appreciated.
No worries, man.